Sharing. Welcome to Coffee Connect, guys. I'm Rodney. We are back in 2026. This is actually our first facilitated conversation, right? We've had some good conversations the first 2 weeks of the year, but first facilitated conversation. This was brought to me. Pam and I looked at this probably 3, 4 months ago. We started talking about it, and I was kind of excited about it. The fact that the brain trust here of all of you amazing individuals, right, can help maybe bring to light, right, some solutions for a small business entrepreneur over in Indiana, as we're going to talk about today, the greatest of all time, right, the GOAT discoveries that we have out there. There we go, there we go. So, getting into the discussion here today, guys, we all know that we're here to help solve problems. We're here to help build relationships. And I just thought, man, this was a great opportunity for us to all dig into maybe some of the challenges we've seen and things like that, and help put into play, or at least give some ideas to the solutions that this entrepreneur young lady, Tracy, is having, right? The struggles and challenges of running a goat farm for the first time ever in your life, right? You guys can all only imagine. And hopefully we can figure out some things today. I'm going to turn it over to the amazing person who brought this to me, right? And she's been with us for a year or so now, and it's been wonderful seeing her at breakfast every once in a while and stuff. Give it up for Pam McWhorter.
Hey everyone. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and Rodney, you can make sure that I've got everything going here. Okay. The other thing is I want to make sure that you guys can hear sound. So
You're sharing the wrong screen, I think.
Yep. So now do the swap thing that we did earlier.
okay, display settings.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. So, welcome. This is the GOAT brainstorm, the greatest of all brainstorms, where, as Rodney said, we're going to focus on moving from side hustle to sustainable. I'm Pamela. I'm going to be your guide to this brainstorming session this day. And you, all of you, are going to be the brilliant thinkers and idea generators. So let's get started. And no, I don't have goats in the room with me, but we do have somebody who has a lot of goats on a barn and a farm. So what are we doing today? We're going to be herding up some great ideas. For this next 45 minutes, we're going to walk through some structured brainstorming sessions where we're going to generate ideas on how to monetize a goat farming venture. You have $1,000 budget. We're going to have 3 10-minute sessions and then about 5 to 10 minutes to wrap up. And you may be wondering right now, as you sit in your comfy homes, why are we brainstorming about a goat farm? Well, as Rodney said, sometimes it helps when we're facing our own challenges to solve somebody else's challenges. It takes the load off, right? And it gives a different perspective. But it also helps us as we're going through our challenges in life to work against something concrete that's not hypothetical. So ideally, most of the lessons that you're going to be taking away today and ideas, you may be able to apply to your own challenges in life, whether that's job transition, initiating a volunteer project, tackling a home project, or please, for the love of God, getting your kids to pick up clothes off the floor. Not that I ever face that. So to get started, let's first meet who we are brainstorming for. This is Tracy. She is a professional writer and a passionate goat farmer for the past 3 years. She started this venture in 2022. It's called Milkbrook. It is a 17-acre farm in Cloverdale, Indiana, appropriately after the national championship, right? It's about 40 minutes south of Indianapolis, and she has 60 goats. 60. That's 5 dozen goats, $20, 26 does, if we're getting the terminology, 4 wethers, those are fixed males. It's a new word for me. And 20 babies from fall kittings, which will go on sale in February. So the goats never stop multiplying. And every goat for Tracy is a story waiting to be told. She keeps, her Facebook feed is primarily goat stories, when they're born, she has a name for every goat. She knows those goats. If she's walking in the yard, like she knows them individually by name. And there's always like a story behind every name. For example, Mia, which means miracle in Spanish, and Morwin, which means dark blessed one, which she's going to call Winnie. She also has, I guess she was listening to this artist named Ernest. I don't know who Ernest is. I suspect if Jackie's on the call, she may know, but she was inspired to call this kidling Ernie after that. So the goats are cute, but they are literally eating Tracy's profits. She is spending over $11,000 a year maintaining her goats, and most of that is going to food. Grain, like she's spending $7,200 on hay, $1,800 on grains and minerals, and then you can see about $2,000 more on miscellaneous expenses. She does hire somebody out to muck the barn in the spring. She's spending $600 right now to keep her goats warm. So our challenge is, how does she keep these costs manageable? And she is making hay where she can. She sells a few goats.
Can you go back to the prior screen real quick so I can do a screen capture, please?
Can you do what, please?
Go back to the prior screen with the expenses.
Yeah.
And hold on.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot, but I mean, it is 60 goats, so
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Oh, I put it in the chat.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thanks, Rodney. So she has a small revenue stream from selling goats or renting them out to stud, but she's really paying for most of these expenses out of pocket. So we're going to get into our brainstorming session, but before we do, we want to take a few minutes for you to hear from Tracy herself. This is a 3-minute video. If you do have trouble hearing it, raise your hand or let us know. So here goes. Here's Tracy.
Good morning. My name is Tracy Timbrook. Thank you for joining me on this really cold Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I am off work today, and unfortunately, it is going to reach a high of, I think, 15. Last night's overnight low was about 9, which makes it particularly difficult when you're helping goats, raising goats. But I just wanted to introduce myself to you all, and thank you very much for profiling me and my sweet farm. I just came in the barn, and I'm gonna just kind of walk around with you and show you a little bit of what I deal with. I generally come out first thing in the morning before I log on for work, and then come back out around the lunchtime, give out hay, refill waters, and then do that again at the end of the day before nightfall. It's a lot easier in the summer because I just open the barn doors and let the herd have at it. Winter is a particular challenge, but enough for me. Let me show you some of my goats. They've just gotten up. They generally bed down when it's really frigid in groups to preserve warmth, which helps my job. But I do keep up heat lamps to help that process. So let's meet the goats. Look in the door. Here are 4 does, 2 moms and their 2 doelings in the front area. And I generally separate them because they're smaller and get a little bit bullied by the rest. And if you look over here, you see my hay wall, a couple takers at the moment. And then here's another group of goats keeping warm by socializing together at night. And then, someone using the bathroom, that always happens with goats. Here's some more of my does. And then I've got another area with 2 of my older girls in the background there. One is 14 and one is 8. So I keep them separated because they tend to get picked on. And then here I've got a mama that's kind of an omega with her 2 doelings. And there are the girls. Hi, girls. How you guys doing? They want to go outside, but I don't let them out when it's this cold outside because I just lose all the warmth from the barn when I do that. Good morning, girls. And then over here, I have my boys, all the bucks. And there are a few chickens in there. They like to bed down with the bucks, are still in their circle of warmth this morning. But thank you so much for profiling my little farm and helping me come up with ideas to keep it functioning and maybe make a little cash to pay for all this hay you see. Have a good day. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
So that's Tracy. You got a peek at her farm. I've been there a couple of times. It's really beautiful. It's really, and I didn't know Indiana could get so rural. So we're going to jump into our brainstorming session. So we're going to have 4 parts. Get creative. That's where you're going to break into groups. Opportunities to finance. You're still going to be in your groups. Then we're all going to come together to come up with an action plan. And then we'll have some parting thoughts where we tie it all together. And I encourage you to think like go-topreneurs. So let's move on to part 1 of our brainstorm. This is where we're going to get creative. We're going to think of ways for Tracy to make the most of her goat story. A few things to keep in mind before you start brainstorming. And I'll also provide some guardrails for brainstorming. She doesn't have a website yet. She names every goat that's born on her farm, and there's a story behind every name. And she has a lot of ready-made content already from her Facebook posts. She has $1,000 for her marketing budget. So Rodney's going to break you into groups. And once you get into your groups, I want you to take a couple of minutes to write down individually, so to be kind of quiet. Some people don't like to be in groups when it's quiet. I'm like that. But write down as many ideas as you possibly can in a couple of minutes. And no idea is too wild, even though these goats are, tame. If somebody says, I want to put a goat in a hot air balloon, fine. After a couple of minutes of writing down your ideas, everyone take a turn, share one idea. It's a round robin. Then open it up. Build on those ideas, share additional ideas from what you've written down. No judgment. As I said, use yes and, like that hot air balloon. Maybe somebody says, hey, we'll bring a news crew and they can film it. So after about 5 minutes, when you're at the 7-minute mark, somebody in your group put a timer on, because we're at 10:26, so we're going to have to move pretty quickly. Nominate your 3 ideas and nominate a spokesperson. And then we're going to come back and share those ideas as a group. And Rodney's going to be taking notes on the whiteboard. Drop your ideas in the chat. Like, we're going to try to accumulate all these ideas, but on the whiteboard, we're going to note what we think are our 3 favorite from each of the groups. So hopefully that gives you some starting rules to go by. And then Rodney, I'm going to let you go ahead and break people off into teams. And
What's going on, Dan?
Excuse me.
Remember, there's no bad ideas, okay?
Bad.
I love
bad jokes.
Yeah. Got a
Oh, you're
nagging
kidding
feeling
me.
that's going to be. I got a nagging feeling that's going to be recurring.
It's all yours, Pam.
Okay, so Rodney, you're going to be using the whiteboard?
Yeah, I'm getting it there.
Okay. Oh, look, somebody found a goat icon. That's awesome. Random thought. Okay, I'm just throwing, this is like, so, okay, no, we're running out of time. I do have a random thought. Anyhow, if you bring up the whiteboard, and then how many groups did you have? 5?
5.
Okay, so group 1, go. Go. This is where you're going to share your top since we're running out of time, like your top 3 ideas, just tell them, say what they are, and then let the next group go.
And
And
group one
then,
was Jim, Joe, Lamar, Miska.
Okay, I'll go ahead and speak for our group. One of the ideas that we had was to have it as a wedding reception venue. And then one of the others was to, and this might take time, but insulate the barn to save on the heating expenses. And then the other was to see if she can partner with something like a 4-H or a trade school or a vet school so that she can get the animals vaccinated for free and maybe charge the school a small stipend that she can generate money that way.
oh, and I'm going to jump in for just a second. I'm not going to add, because I know there was a plethora of ideas. So if you have, because I know there was also some mention about goat milk or goat meat. So if you can drop those additional ideas into the chat, because we're going to say these are the top ideas. Here's our top 3, but I'm going to provide Tracy with all the ideas. Thank you, Joe.
Group two is Daniel, Dave, Julie, and Melinda.
I was volunteered.
Voluntold.
We came up with a number of things. Take the GOAT, G.O.A.T, with the periods between them. Fernando Melendez might be a good example. Other people that are goats in their industries, whether it be it, and start naming them with that play off of it. Goat yoga tied into more marketing of the sustainable farms and dealing with donations. The thing from a marketing perspective is Daniel came up with what are the constraints associated with it, and most importantly, what's she most interested in? Because to push this, she needs to have a focal point.
Can you explain a little bit more about what Take the Goat is, just so I can explain it to her?
Taking Tom Brady is known as a GOAT, greatest of all time. Lamar James is known as a GOAT. You've got somebody right now that's the Heisman Trophy winner, national football champion in Indiana. You also have other things with the basketball pro. Play off the GOATs of Indiana.
Caitlin Clark from the Pacers, or not from the WNBA.
So maybe
your suggestion was to name the goats after them?
You can play off of that, yeah.
Okay, but not just play. Oh, I see what you're saying. Name some of the goats after the greatest.
Now you can market it. You can market those. You can put things out through Facebook and stuff, and it ties a different audience in.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, it's 10:42. Group 3.
Clint, Jeff, Rita, Travis. Clint, Jeff, Rita, Travis.
Rita, go ahead. Or I could just put the whole list that we put into the chat.
All right, group 4, Darcy, Kate, Tony.
I think a lot of what we talked about has been said or put in there. Tony mentioned finding sponsors and looking at opportunities for sponsorship. There's a lot of endless ideas. It's really about her creating a business plan related to what she wants to focus on and what she sees as most feasible with the resources locally, I think, to start small, grow it. And that goat farm in Indiana is a perfect example of family owned and grown, and they have a website, and their kids did all their work for most of the time when they were starting out.
Rodney, I think some of them I'll just add what Kate had talked about, but the play date idea, I think it was in the chat as well, but just opportunities for clubs or schools to be on the farm. And then along with the FFA, 4-H, senior citizens, just volunteer opportunities for people who want to get their hands dirty and help with the cleanup or things like that.
And I thought about the mental health angle as well. I mean, playing with goats is fantastic for mental health. used to
Oh,
offer that
yeah.
as well.
I think you're touching on something because a lot of people are talking about their anti-screen, like there's like, people are wanting to try to get back to basics. There's a big article in the New York Times about doing analog activities. So this could also be marketed to Gen Z and, young adult Gen Z.
So group 5, Diana, Jared and Pam Farwick.
I can chat. We had the similar petting zoo, goat yoga, connecting with the 4-H clubs, county fairs. It's possibly if she wanted to get somebody to do a website, maybe get a recent graduate or internship where it's a little bit less cost.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I would definitely leverage her Facebook as much as possible. And then Rodney mentioned as well for a child book series, stories about the goats. That would be, that could snowball into so many other things.
Yep.
So those were some of the ones that we had on there. The rest of the team, if you guys want to chime in, anything I missed there. Let's see.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was
you guys
something I
said,
had thrown
yeah.
out, like about a book series. I also thought something that was really cheap. I'm just throwing it out because we're running out of time. Just like Build-A-Bear has certificates, she can print out goat certificates and sort of create a package and sort of upsell when she sells her goats.
Yeah. Oh, the other one was about adopting one of the goats and just where they could get a certificate or something. And then you could even do a story on some of those that get adopted or something like
I love that.
virtually adopted. I think that's about it for us.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing so she can go back to sharing and we can kind of get into the next session because
we have 15 minutes.
Yeah, if you've got other things, please put them in the chat so we can capture all of those things, guys. Yeah, I like that Daniel mascot, like Fiona. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Fiona. Oh my gosh, I think the Cincinnati Zoo has become.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's like how they're funding themselves. Okay. Swap. Okay. And let's go. So we're going to, as I'm flipping to that slide, we're going to go on to part 2. And we won't take as much time since we're running out of time. And we want to sort of share our thoughts. This is where we're going to be thinking about how to finance this, practical ways. She can, she has that $1,000 marketing budget. How can she easily raise money besides just selling goats to a few families? Like adopt a goat is a way of raising money, virtually adopting a goat. And how can she attract investors or get a bank loan?
All right, we're back to the whiteboard, I think, too. Are we trying to capture some of these other ideas?
Yes. Opportunities to finance. Do you have your whiteboard?
I'm sharing, ain't I? Am I not
Yeah,
sharing?
I can see the whiteboard.
Now you are.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
see.
Okay.
What groups were we?
Hold on. I gotta pull up the breakout room. So group 1, Daniel, Diana, Kate, and Melinda.
Daniel, are you there? You want to talk or you want me to talk?
No, we were, Diana was the scribe for our group while we were brainstorming. So you could, whatever you had that we can share.
Okay. We were talking about if there's anything for like hay donations or something in the market, any in the local 4-H, bringing in any groups that could potentially have donations. Let's see, what was it? Another one. I know you mentioned something, Daniel, about the nonprofit type venture. If you want to expand on that one.
Sure. Is this a nonprofit venture? If this is a nonprofit venture, kind of look into seeing how that could be funded from donors. One of the other big ideas that we had was how can you take the actual waste that's generated and reuse it or offer it for sale to help defray some of the costs that are there.
Interesting.
Fertilizer.
It's endless.
Group 2 is Jared, Jim, Joe, and Travis.
Okay. We basically thought that she has got to start promotion, and it's like basically that is like got to be the number one thing that she does is to get better known, and that will open up other opportunities. One of the ideas we had was bucks for bucks. As far as sponsoring a goat or whatever, and then any kind of crowdfunding she can do through the internet. Those were kind of and then also play off the kind of the goat theme that came up in the prior session. But bucks for bucks, I like that. That was me. But
number 3, Dave, Julie, and Miska.
We talked about her needing a business plan first in order to figure out where she wants to ultimately be. And then, so once that is in place, there's probably already goat groups of people who have gone through setting up a goat farm that she could, connect with to see where they're at, to compare where she's at in the process and understand any changes or things that she needs to do.
Peer groups, Rodney. Peer groups, other goat farmers doing it.
Go ahead. And
the other thing is, you see all these commercials for adopt a Russian woman, adopt a pet, adopt this, adopt or support some sort of tie into whether it's GoFundMe or just through the local
GoatFundMe, is that what you said?
GoatFundMe, that's good.
GoatFundMe.
She can start a whole new channel up.
But I'm pumped. I'm here all week.
Group 4 was Clint, Lamar, Pam, and Pam.
Clint, go. I was just a observer.
I gave Pam a list of some resources that I use with SCORE for helping to find funding. I'm having to tweak the list a little bit because what I have is available in Ohio. I'm making sure we can get her Indiana resources, but things like bootstrapping, micro lending, and leaning into state programs that are available. SBA loans are out there. They are difficult for startups to get, but they are available. But to others' point, she'd have to have a very strong business plan and revenue model.
Yeah.
And then Pam, you had a thought about almost sort of like a portable promotion on her phone where she can just if she's wherever she goes, creating like a GoatFundMe spot.
Yeah, something like that. She needs a physical location so people could donate. And if she has Facebook on her phone or even hard pictures of what the stories are on her phone, that would be her marketing tool to at least start a conversation with sponsorship or whoever she's talking to, a church group.
Then goat.
I do love the goat can. Sorry.
Couple things here. So out of the last group, I said there's really 4 areas to focus on from what are my streams of income? First and foremost, production. What do the goats produce that we can then monetize, right? Whether it be the milk or the cheese or whatever else. The second thing is pets and purpose, right? People want pets and these things serve a purpose. The third thing would be focusing on the presence of the goats, having the schools come in and the goat yoga, those things, right? Just kind of separating those ideas out, I think, can help figure out where do I want to focus on. And then the last thing is there's always ancillary purposes, right? Like the book idea and the gift shop and things like that. And so it's not any one area that she's focused on. And we all agreed, I think business plan was a big thing. And then understanding the limitations that, hey, these things only breed once a year, right? Right. They only breed once a year. And so we got to figure out those things too.
Rodney, can I ask Pamela,
Yeah.
what is her reason for having this now? Help us now, since we're getting close to the end anyway. Where is it? Because that might help us be able to provide you and her more information going forward.
What do you mean? Where is it physically?
What does she want? What does she want with this? Does she want to grow it, shrink it? What does she want?
What does she want? She wants to, like, she just wants to, like, she doesn't want lose the farm. She is a single woman. You know, she has to rely on her income to sustain this farm. And so, you know, she had somebody else that was partnering with her, and then they exited. So it's like on her, and she decided to persevere. Like, this is really a story of perseverance, and she truly loves the goats.
So may I interrupt for lack of time? So sustaining the farm is her most critical issue right now.
Exactly.
It's that, and that's really the key. It's not so much do I want to grow the goats or anything else. It may be cutting back on the goats so that she can sustain the farm or get a partner, or so sustaining the farm is her mission right now.
Right. But she has such a unique story. I think it's not it's not like Graders going from a little business to nationwide. This is about, sustaining the farm. But I do think there are broad stories that can go nationwide without a lot of cost investment that can help her reach her goal of sustaining it and not worrying, do I have enough money to pay for $7,000 worth of hay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, she's not looking to make this a 200 goat farm or anything else at this point. That's not her mission. And that's, we were all talking about other ways to create revenue. It may not be that she wants 8 revenue streams. She just may want a solid line of reasoning that she knows she's got herself covered year after year after year. Okay.
So the more ideas, though, the better. Then she can pick and choose, and from those ideas, she can start to tie together a comprehensive plan.
So to piggyback off of Dave, one of the things we talked about is if she wants funding, she's got to show it's sustainable.
And I would market this less as a business and more as a nonprofit or something along those lines. It's not a business per se. It's a hobby that she has that she wants help maintaining.
It's recreational.
I wonder if she could be a 501(c)(3).
Possibly. So I think that's the difference. How do you sustain? Maybe that's another one of your breakouts like this, Pamela. How does she sustain what she has a love and a passion for? This is her passion. How does she sustain it?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, you guys. I know we're at time. I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts, not brainstorming thoughts. I think what captured me about Tracy's Goats, besides the novelty, and by the way, I used to have a neighbor that had miniature horses in her garage. She was a dear friend of mine. That despite facing a lot of hurdles with this goat farm, Tracy never gave up on her goats. And for me personally, that's one of my takeaways is, like, especially during this job transition, don't give up, be stubborn about pursuing your dreams, and be like a goat.
Give it up for Pamela McWhorter, guys. There's so much more that I think we had intended to go through, right? Obviously creating the action plan and then kind of tying things together. But I think we've got a lot of great ideas, and I'm sure as we feed this in to get the summary letter and newsletter and stuff, I might even actually ask AI, hey, is there some action plans that you can kind of derive from this to help forward on to Tracy so that hopefully we can put some of these things in place and take some of these. Please, if Tracy or Pam reaches out to you and says, hey, I want to talk more about these conversations because maybe you had an idea you brought to the table today, please answer up on LinkedIn, right, and create those connection guys so you guys so hopefully we can continue to further the idea or perpetuate the idea that might have been rooted from today's conversations. Real quick, new folks. I don't think we have Giovanni or Giovanna, right? You're new with us. Can you give us 30 seconds of who you are, what you're doing, how we can help you?
Yes, I'm a New Yorker, and I'm here to share something called redox signaling molecules, which we all make, and we're deficient in 1% less every year after puberty, and there is a way to replenish. That's why I'm here. I want people to know about this amazing breakthrough that's been around for 16 years, and I've been consuming for 4 years, and I have amazing testimonials myself personally, but there's so many miracles happening in our world.
Gotcha. Are you on LinkedIn, Giovanna?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. So,
Rodney, can I ask Kate to go ahead and do her call to action?
Yes.
Come on, do the who's your call, Kate, since you've got it in the background, please for us.
Who?
Hoosiers!
I want to know what a Hoosier is. That's what I mean.
Who's your I always heard who's your mama?
Who's your mama? Who's your daddy? You know.
Person from Indiana.
We had this conversation yesterday with my in-laws and stuff, or not yesterday, I guess. Well, it might have been yesterday morning, right? As far as what a Hoosier was, and then my mother-in-law was like, "Is that a duck?" Right? No, that's an ibis. That's an ibis, right? So that's the Miami Hurricane thing is an ibis. That's the first bird or last bird to disappear before a hurricane comes in, and the first bird to reappear when the hurricane's gone. So that's your lesson today of nature. At some point, we might learn what a Hoosier is.
Yeah, Google that for next week, Kate, and let us know.
So,
I think I know what a Hoosier is, but I'm not certain. It's a piece of furniture that they used to use way back in the day to house refrigerated items and things like that.
Okay.
I think that's what it is because I know about people who have Hoosiers here in our region. It's an antique at this point.
I'll buy that answer for $30 or so. I mean,
and it was named Hoosier because of the region that you're in. Or
awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. Listen, it's 7 after. We are way late, guys. We're up to 63 new folks for the year, guys. And March 31st is our anniversary date. Our goal was 100. That means we need 3.7 people per week new between now and March 31st because we've got 10 more weeks left of this anniversary year. And I'm sure they're going to be a great 10 weeks. We're going to have some great conversations. Listen, hopefully today you were able to kind of go, hey, man, I was able to engage. I was able to get creative, and I didn't have to worry about life so much as having some fun is figuring out how we can how we can point Tracy hopefully in the right direction of helping her. Go out there, have a great week, everybody. Right? Remember, I love you guys. Take what you've learned, teach others, and make others as wealthy with knowledge as what you've become today.
Rodney, what are we doing next week?
Hey, next week. Dave, I'm just kidding, Dave. You're not on the hook for it. We are going to talk about referrals, theory, and practice next week. Not referral economics, but theory and practice. As well, anybody who's in the Cincinnati area can catch the Monday version of it because I'll be at Job Search Focus Group talking on referral, theory, and practice Monday. So have a great week, everybody. Love you guys.
Bring a referral to the meeting.